Everyone, welcome as we get into map number 1 here. It's Mirage, it's FyR's map choice, and this is where they're going to need to find some success if they want to, in general, find some victory going forward in this best of 3. It's going to be a tough time. Currently sitting 1-4 here in Group B. Not too sure that getting towards the playoffs is an option anymore, but you still want to end the season on a high note.
Slow creep forward, down into underpass, spines on the fadeaway, will have spotted out Ace. Now he's setting up nicely for a Tiger bait and switch, but the problem is going to be the B bomb site where the attack has actually come out to 2-2, trying to intercept it, has not been able to prevent players from crossing into the bomb site, and this is going to have to be a retake, but the bomb, it's out of their hands. Sanj drops it near the market window, and recovering it will be so damn hard with 2-2 on the job. 2-2 is on their case, and no one can really stop him from solving it.
Yeah, it looks like they're actually playing with Ace over here on the T side. I don't think that was the player that we were expecting them to have. Who is missing?
No, Ace and Huskia.
Oh, okay.
Players I mentioned that, you know, they've had a rougher season so far.
Okay, sorry, that's just not the 5-man lineup I got off Wikipedia. My bad.
It's all good, man, all good. Wikipedia can lie to you sometimes.
It can, yeah. I think it's more so
there's a lot
just not
of team
updated.
shufflings, yeah.
Yeah. NewHappy though with the initial pistol round, getting off to the start that we kind of expected for them here, but we were hoping for a bit more from FyR. Getting off to the initial 3 rounds here would have been nice on the T side. What a shot by Zingy on that scout. Tiger loses his head. They are gonna still send the player back over to see what's going on mid, but I think he's smoked off for now. We'll recover the Yogg at least as a bit of an upgrade, but there's no real info about what's going on towards middle right now. Instead, they've pushed a player deep in towards the B apartments. That should allow them to get a rotation over now if needed. Instead, they're going to push 2-2 up short and hopefully have them in a position here to help as the connector push comes true. Unfortunately, it's a little bit late. Sanj gets that initial kill rather onto Lihang. Ace drops Spine, and suddenly the bomb is getting planted with a very difficult 2-on-4 retake at hand that I don't think they're going to want to try unless this flank finds a miracle kind of double kill without much resistance, and that's not going to happen. Instantly shut down.
Lihang just completely drops the ball over there. He's set up for success for what could be a potential multi-kill going into him. Of course, the AUG isn't necessarily the best weapon for those close-range multis, but even then. But, you know what, he is just overwhelmed. FyR, this is one of the things that they will be very good at on Mirage, which is taking straight duels and winning them outright. Also makes them quite deadly on force spies, in particular versus Mongols as well. They did have a very good time winning out some of those, but also on the flip side of things, they do lose against some of the deagle rounds and whatnot that can be pulled together by a T side conversely on their own. So it is one of that feast or famine kind of teams as far as that is concerned, but that's also a fun kind of team.
Can definitely make for exciting games, also frustrating ones. We'll see how this plays out because they do want to try and come back with a force buy of their own. Tiger, I think it was it Tiger rather? Yeah, indeed, who lost his life to the scout in the initial moments, so he decides to go for a scout of his own, and well, he doesn't get the kill. I mean, some decent damage on towards Ace, tags him down. That can help big time with those pistols, especially. The problem is they're losing A in the meantime. As Husky gets the initial kill, the smokes keep the rest of the players at bay, and again, the bomb goes down. But not without a little resistance there. Spine pulls back a kill, and with the damage that's been done, this is still in theory winnable rather, but they will need to move quick.
NewHappy missed out on a really big opportunity over there. Ace, in the meanwhile, quick tag on his Spines and at least alerts Spine to his presence, but the problem is actually prioritizing and finding those kills. Will have to be 2-2, leads the charge, not much HP left. Ace and Sanj both coming out with a kill apiece. 2x, what? Oh. That's not a player I remember.
I don't know who
that is. It's going to be taken down, and then that's where you've got this Tiger left in a 1-on-2 that he cannot win.
Gotta be Carl, has it?
Yeah, probably.
Unless they got
Is that like his age? 20 plus 20? Just 2x? I don't know, man.
35, he's not that old.
35. Hey, man, 40's not that old either. I've started to realize I quite like 40-year-olds, and I find them to be like quite amiable company, so I don't want to consider them as old.
Oh no, I'm not calling him old. I was just saying he's not quite that old. Like, saying someone's not quite that old doesn't mean anything. Like, you could say someone was 16 and I'd be like, no, they're 40 and they're not quite that old. You get me? It doesn't mean they're old. But, yeah, I'm not too sure what's going on with the name. We'll presume it's Carl and just call him Carl because it's easier than 2x2x. As the T-side groups at the B apartments, there's only a scout in play alongside one upgraded CC, and they have indeed taken a gamble to stack towards the A bomb site, which I like. Unfortunately, though, it doesn't pay off as the bomb's about to go down, and it should be a very clean round for FyR, keeping likely all 5 weapons standing. I was going to say AKs, but they do have an M4 in there.
There is something kind of satisfying about having an M4A1S on the T side. Just the ability to spam window on Mirage. Ooh, through the smoke. Oh, baby, yes.
Yeah, the no tracers is always handy on the T side if you're trying to just spam angles. Hoping to catch a lucky entry or two.
Yeah.
They are setting up for exits here, so if Shandaras isn't too careful, he could maybe lose his AK, but it shouldn't be too much trouble. He deals with the first player. He'll keep his range now against the second USP, but the scout's on the way in, which makes it dangerous, yeah, as he gets tagged down and finished off. The weapon itself won't be recoverable, but they are making it costly. This is a decent find for what they had coming into this round.
The bomb actually blows the weapon towards them, so helps them out.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're able to take that AK forward. That's going to be quite important. They still won't be able to invest into the... I am lying to you. They do invest into the AWP, and they just go for head armor plus a flashbang. That is a little bit surprising. Well, let's see what exactly he wants to do with that off. We'll be starting things out on what looks to be short, potentially with a boost. Has got 3 players going over towards here. No, instead they've gone for the Woxic boost back into apartments, looking for the quick push through. This could be big, but he's missed the shot, and Husky has intercepted Tiger instead.
Put a bullet right under his armpit. That was unfortunate. 2-2 will at least be able to
put it like that.
Yeah, didn't get him in the armpit though. That would have been a bad spot to be shot. Soft skin, you know. I mean, I wouldn't like to get shot anywhere, in fairness. It's all soft skin in comparison to a bullet traveling at probably thousands of miles an hour, but like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if I had to shoot, it'd probably be like through my thighs or something.
Through your thigh. I'm pretty sure there's some pretty important arteries around there as well, so you'd want them to be quite precise. Yeah, you might bleed out if they hit the like femoral artery or something. So, here we go. Molly under Palace. Let's see. Can NH put in a solid hold or not? NewHappy do have a decent setup here on the A-bomb site. They're going to check in on Sandwich, but Lee Hang still is able to drop 2 of them with that M4A1S. It's great control. A little bit of help from Carl, I believe. Still not quite sure. They do have one player, I was going to say, who can just hopefully keep the numbers advantage from the spawn. And while they don't stop the bomb plant, they did find the spam as he was getting up out of position, leaving it all onto Ace, who decided to drop down and play on top of the bomb itself, which was surprising. But not for NewHappy. They seemed ready for it. Yeah,
Tutu rotating over, just completely neglected by Ace, and the possibility of having a second CT player there after he's found the first kill. And at that point, NewHappy is able to pick up the round. Now, fortunately for FyR, they do have some pretty damn good money, and with only 2 players kept alive for NewHappy, this is still a great opportunity to push the CTs back down at their place where they belong, down in the MP9 zone.
Yeah, they'll keep the pressure on, at the very least. Again, this is FyR's map choice, so we're expecting to put in the better performance here, as Tiger is just not landing shots on mid, is he, man? He struggled with the AUG, the Scout, and now the op. Oh, and loses 2-2 in the meantime as well. Tiger being tagged up, 2-2 out of play. It's already a very firm 5-on-4 that FyR have in their control, and Zingy even puts a stop to Spine. Might even be ready for the repeat here from Tiger. Let's see. No, just about takes himself off the angle, which is probably for the better, all things considered. But now his teammates are left open for the upper, as Tiger, despite the low health, is going to try and put in a defense on this A bomb site, and with the ramp aggression as well in place, this is perfect. Lee Hang with 1, drops another molly to try and slow that push and just narrow the amount of angles that Tiger has to deal with, as the smokes also contribute to that. Unfortunately, they all die in sync. Okay.
That is a really nice smoke onto bench next to triple right there, just to make sure the Tiger can't try and have areas to navigate around. You could see how much more difficult that made it for him to actually work, because it's a one-way, right, for the T side. So yeah, he just couldn't actually retreat back, didn't know what to do, didn't know where to go, gets confused, and then yeah, it's just the triple flurry coming through. And I'd just like to remind everyone that for NewHappy, they're incredibly reliant on having Tiger give them 5v4 situations. He currently is leading the numbers on their first kills this season. Of course, closely behind is Lee Hang, but Tiger is still on 46 across the 6 games that they have played so far. Maybe it's 5 actually. But regardless, however many it is. So, if he is being, you know, taken advantage of in middle, then that's going to be a rough time.
Yeah, he really is getting abused in that mid at the moment. It's been a bit of a weak point, unfortunately, for NewHappy, so we'll need to see what sort of a response they have now in this next round. Maybe we'll see some aggression, some sort of support at least for Tiger, or maybe just give up mid completely. Preferably just don't lose Tiger in the beginning of every round, or at least have him brought down to 10 health so that he just can't contribute. 5-on-1 though. 2-2, maybe he can find the killer 2, that would be nice. Or killer 2-2.
Now I'm just imagining a counter-terrorist finding like an actual 2-2, just lying around Mirage, like, oh, I'd love to have this for my daughter.
Spinning around doing some ballet popping heads.
Yeah. Oh god, that's some John Wick things in my head.
You need amazing movement if you wanted to ballet in CSGO. I don't think it's quite possible. Long range CZ? Nope, not gonna work.
Launders' next YouTube video. Hey, what's popular YouTube? Another day, another ballet.
Oh, it's a bit of a rough buy. They don't have the op for Tiger. Nades could be better as well. There's no kit as far as I'm seeing, and they do. Sorry, 2-2 has one. So at the very least there is one in play, but that's all it is. It could still be dropped in an awkward position. It could be perhaps trouble in the future, and again limited with the utility, which I would prefer they had more of, considering we need to see a change up in play, and they drop Lihang into under. That's the adjustment they're going to go for on the mid control.
Dude is actually getting aggressive over here as well. They're trying to combine this, and with the flashbang down, Lihang's got the first. That's beautiful. Tiger is ready to pop him through, and now Lihang forced off by the Molotov, but a secondary flashbang, and 2-2's help will be putting them in an advantage regardless. Haskia doing what he can, but a smoke differentiates him from equalizing, and in the meanwhile, Ace's departure from the server isn't really going to help.
Yeah, I mean, if Hasky could maybe add another kill or two to the tally, that'd be nice, but he's being flanked by Carl, who's going to put him down. Bullet to the back of the head. No, not a headshot. Not necessary in that case, I suppose. Movement had started. Didn't need to be too careful anymore. 5-3 though. 2 rounds in the difference. FyR, their economy is finally starting to feel the sting of the back and forth that they've started to embrace here, but they do still have enough for a buy, and with them being on the T side, if they can keep the pressure on, if they can win out a round again immediately in return, as before, NewHappy will be put down to a very weak buy, and they don't have much loss bonus in the reserve. They're either only getting 1900, so it's a chance for FyR again to just break them and keep on building up this T side in a way that I don't think either of us were really imagined before the big game begun, as Spine decides to hold strong here on Palace, taking out 3 of them. Sorry, it was only 2. Tiger actually stole 1, but either way, fantastic teamwork to just lock down that one choke point. It was a strange change from FyR. You don't see too many rounds where a team will just decide to all rush Palace, pretty much.
Oh, goodbye, Zingy. FyR's money is also now getting a little bit crumbly. They will be buying into this one regardless, just to see whether or not they can have a few of those rounds where they were just winning duels outright by walking through connector. But as NewHappy has turned up the heat a little bit more so and varied aggression, it might be slightly tough. They also keep 1900 on Shandarats. Okay. Faster play out through Palace. They're hoping to catch them off as the mid-aggression has been made a priority, but Lihang will not be flashed off. Remember, that first flash will not be blinding you in triple, but as he peeks back out over, that's where he'll end up getting caught out. And there are 2 players in connector, but getting back onto the bomb site will not be easy for them. There is still that oversight from Sans to come through, but Zingy's late round activation will be incredibly late in the round.
Oh, look at Connector. The timing on that peak from Sanj was fantastic. Okay. Somehow didn't get the follow-up kill though, and looked like it was going to be his, but good damage done. And with Zingy also now on the flank here, this Tech9 should be able to seal the deal on that kill. Even spots Spine and on the bomb site, and unfortunately that gives his position away. Didn't expect Tiger still to be close. Now it's all on Ace, but the time's already ticking. He only has to hold for a moment, and that would have been it. Is there time for this defuse? It's incredibly close, but I think he just about has it. Yeah, about a second or so to spare for Tutu. As the scoreline is tied back up at 5-5. I wasn't really expecting us to get here. It seemed like FyR still had their chance to get that reset, to get that break, but no, NewHappy hold firm. And they actually put FyR into the slightly difficult position about deciding what they want to buy up.
Yeah, Ace struggling in that 1 versus 2, otherwise that was set up for him perfectly so. NewHappy had a lot of utility left. They actually just didn't feel confident pulling it out, even though they had a good idea of the fact that players could not have gone back to Palace. So realistically, you can only be in and around that Ninja and Firebox area, maybe under Palace if they were fast about it. But they had Molotovs, grenades, didn't use any of them because they did not want to be caught out taking a duel. Now, speaking of taking duels, Carl is going to have to take quite a few of them. Tech9's coming his way. This is every B anchor's nightmare, but maybe he can do something with it. Only the one, though, will be found.
With the man advantage, so this retake could be slightly difficult. The weapons aren't quite there for FyR though, so they need some early kills up close on these Tech9s, and that's not going to happen. The M4s keep their range, wear down the numbers, and leave Husky alone, trapped in at the bench, and only does a little bit more damage with 1 extra kill. That's all he's going to find. It was close though. I mean, Tutu and Spine were both on A health. Couple bullets, it could have been a 1-on-1 suddenly. But it's NewHappy instead who get the lead.
I appreciate the fact that FyR are identifying that the extremities of the map are being left relatively unsupported because of NewHappy's change up with 3 players being pushed into mid. The question is now that they're on like a legitimate buy with all their rifles and the AWP for Shandars as well, or rather for Zingy as well, will that remain to be the case? Because now they're splitting back into a default. So if NewHappy wants to go for the aggressive mid play, this would be a pretty good time for them. He repeats while he's blind?
Apparently.
What? Surely that must have been impartial.
I've had a little bit of vision, yeah. Either way, the aggression in towards the B apartments should negate the fact that they've lost their opper in on mid. They already do have a bit of an A stack with 3 players in place, and well, right now for FyR, it could go anywhere, but it looks like it might be towards B, especially as Sanj reads that aggression up in towards the apartments. Okay, Tutu's rotating, but he's only in kitchen now, so I'm not sure how much he's going to have to say about this, especially with the upper already posted on short, and with a player also close to the kitchen. Okay, he gets the drop on Shandaras at least. But again, the numbers are there for FyR, and they've been really solid at trading as well. Most of the time.
Good at playing in a pack, that's for sure. And yeah, that should seal the deal. Spine will more likely than not be fading away and trying to save. With Carl not in the best of places financially, got to keep that in mind. I still cannot believe Tiger went for that repeat, to be honest. That might have been what cost him the round, because he gets the great position, he finds a first kill, and Carl's got position in apartments as well. You know, you're set up for success. But that repeat, man, it changes everything. Changes the dynamic of the B-bomb side a bit too much. Sanj is able to pre-fire out Carl, and yeah, there you have it.
Tied up again. I mean, FyR are doing a pretty decent job here. Again, it is their map choice, so I think ending it with 1 or 2 more rounds on this T side, come out with maybe even the lead at the halftime would be the way they want to go. As we said, Inferno up next will be a tough one, as will Nuke as the decider if it gets that far. Zingy with a solid spawn here, wants to see if he can maybe get that initial peak. Unfortunately, as the molly goes down, he decides against it. But it does look like it's going to be likely straight into an A execute once this molly's gone.
Nice nade onto Ace as well. He's been playing Palace very consistently, and as they try to intercept the A execute, it's Lee Hank to start off. Second kill maybe found as well. USB forced to be pulled out while Haskia trades 3-on-4, but the rotation from 2-2 will be delayed. They've got a window to try and make this work, and it's 3-on-3 as well. Good Molotov, and it will be Carl to smoke it off, but he's lost his teammate in doing so. Trying to face back into them. The Glock will take most of his life out, but also he is able to drop the bomb. And now no longer any reason for 2-2 to aggress. Just a Molotov to contain. Zingy is alone. Flashes to be dodged, but Carl will get the frag regardless. Wide swing out, and the double CT setup will succeed very nicely.
Continuing with the back and forth. It's okay for FyR on the T side, and I guess we're getting towards a point now with only the couple rounds left that it's not going to make a huge difference for NewHappy either, but being on the CT side, they'd like to end it with the full 9 rounds. These last 2 gotta be what they're aiming for. Again, not much they can do about mid as the smokes go down, instead putting focus more towards connector, and Lihang is going to get that initial kill with a little bit of help from 2-2. That was actually the bomb, I think, that had pushed up on the short. That could be scary. The position was likely, at the very least now, noted by NewHappy, but a trade back through the smoke there from Sanj. I think without real info, he just took a little bit of a spam, got the kill, a little bit of luck on his side maybe, and well, Husky just with some patience punishes that short aggression as well. So a 4-on-3, it's a difficult position for NewHappy, and Tiger's feeling that pressure, feeling like he needs to somehow pull these kills back, and unfortunately the flick does not land. He's being hunted now by Sanj, and although Spine has the trade once again, it's not going to stay with them. It's all onto Carl, and okay, he's gotten himself the 2 kills around connector, including the bomb now being dropped.
Oh, Ace just gets it though. Beautiful stuff coming out from him, although he did struggle a little bit in the earlier clutches. FyR have got some very sharp pre-firing. It's nice to see. Unfortunately for Carl, that does mean he has been taken advantage of in that regards a few times. Sanj before Ace now. They have been finding him at a lot of preordained positions.
Flashes over A, just for a little bit of pressure. Maybe pull some of that attention away from mid, which again has been a weak point, but might as well make it even easier if possible. Tiger up close and connected, the off-peeking around window as well, both taking a lot of bullets, and well, 2-2 barely hanging on to life for now. That's going to put the pressure on A. They have the numbers here though, as the split comes true. 2-2 with a very well-timed smoke actually gives them a strong position here to maybe come through with a couple of kills, but instead it's Lihang on that Deagle getting the work done and leaving Husky now alone in a 1-on-2. And without the bomb in his possession, if he had the bomb, he could have bailed and went B.
He actually uses the decoy to back off, and it's Carl to come through. 8-7 for NewHappy. That's the half, and we're off to a break to figure out what the second one holds in store.
break up, don't speak for a couple of weeks. I'll be in his place till he calls and says he's sorry. This situation's on repeat, just like a scratch on a CD. It just gets deeper when you hit.
And we're back into things as NewHappy and FyR are going to be facing each other off, with NewHappy taking the lead on 8 towards the very end of things. Did not look like that might be the case with how FyR started off. Lee Hang, though. Hang in there, buddy. Getting himself a nice little headshot to start things off. Looking for more as well. My man is a hunter and he sniffs spray. Haskia on the USB. Back and B. Short will be finding nothing but death. And unfortunately for him, it is not the death of his opponents. Tiger will be the one finding that instead. 4 players kept alive for NewHappy. Bomb not even needed to be planted, but they do it just for the style points and for the extra $300. And of course, with that, FyR will be put into position to force spy out. Now, remember, Dean, this is what I talked about before as well, right? That FyR on the force spies can catch out teams pretty often. And that is generally a malady of Asian Counter-Strike that does unfortunately still exist. I don't like the tag of Asian CS being assigned to poor Counter-Strike practices, but anti-force spies are definitely things where they do struggle with. Now, FyR, interestingly enough, only going for 3 deagles instead, and those deagles are dying a painful, long-winded death to Galil. That's like being stabbed by toothpicks until you pass away. It is painful. Not a way to go. Not a way to go at all. Now the question is, will they be buying into this one? Because with the Deagle investment, that does actually put Ace and company in the 3,700 mark, so you're not really entirely sure about how much they can bring to the table in that regards. So yeah, it'll be a big investment from in the Deagles in the previous, and actually leads into a much worse kind of buy coming out over here. Even their flash is limited.
Yeah, it's a rough position on that CT side. No kit, especially as they do take a little bit of a more passive stance on towards this A bomb site. Smokes go down, blocking off their vision, and they don't get a couple kills here before this bomb goes down. Saving might be something they're forced into, and well, it's actually a very aggressive stance from NewHappy instead. Pushing up through jungle. Shinderas wants to do something about that bomb. Didn't quite stop it, sure, but he gets 1 kill. But he can't hang on to life left in the open pretty much. Carl isn't going to have any success in jungle. But again, it's constant trades. It doesn't matter. They continue to go in favor of NewHappy. The final player being spotted as well there as Sanja's crossing out in the open. I was going to say a risky peek from Tutu, but he goes for it either way. Had his teammate already, I think, slowly creeping in from the CT spawn as well, so he would have been ready for the trade from Triple, as an 11-7 scoreline is taken here for NewHappy. FyR don't have the money to get a full buy. They'll have a couple of pistols, since they do have full loss bonus at least going, but it's going to be a 12th round most likely on this T side for NewHappy, and that's on FyR's map choice as well.
Now listen, Dean, I'm going to give you a segment of dumb things T-Time thinks of on broadcast accidentally. When I just saw Tutu, I was like, oh, Tutu's having a little adventure in Palace. From adventure, I just started remembering RuneScape and its iconic do music, because Tutu, you know, this dumb things that go on in my head.
So many pistols and Kevlar, as I was saying, though, so for the CT side, so there's not going to be much happening. Sorry, I wasn't sure where to go with that, I'm not going to lie.
That is the appropriate thing to do. It's okay, just ignore it.
Look, this man has drugs in his tea.
Haskia, though, got some enhancements coming out with the Deagle as he does take down Carl.
Get dinked by a Deagle?
I think he got wallbanged.
Yeah.
Through his teammate or something.
Fortunate to be alive then, but also unlucky for whoever dinked him 99. His spine drops a nade on top of Shinderas, and well, who knows, maybe 1 or 2 more kills from these pistols. It wouldn't be bad. They have full loss bonus going. They're just trying to do some damage here in this round.
Ace walking in will just be walking to his death. Leihang's got this one. Easy, easy. And yeah, 3 players kept alive. That could have been a little bit more dangerous if Ace actually finds a kill, just in terms of economy, because NewHappy did mess up with a double smoke towards top connector, and as a result of that, actually crossing through short would be difficult. So you could end up losing a player or two. You probably win the round anyway, but just something to keep in mind out for the playoffs in the next week.
Yeah, looking forward to getting into the playoffs. FyR actually going for a double up setup here. That is an interesting change-up. It's a bit of a desperation play, as we to say sometimes, but it can be what you need, especially on a map here like Mirage on this CT side. It lets Ace push up in the apartments, and it also, I was going to say, gives him a good position here to hold for what looked like it was maybe going to be a short push, but they decide against that. They just get a player in towards the ladder room who can hold the extremities, maybe cut off rotations and keep a couple players busy. And the plan now is that they hopefully find success moving on towards this A bomb site, but they're not going to expect a secondary up. There's no way. It doesn't matter though. They read the angle. 2-2 does some serious damage on top of a kill as Zingy is being hunted. He needs help from that player over towards connector. As 2-2's cut off from everyone else, the molly leaves him alone, but it doesn't matter. The Deagle is getting all of the work done as he dances his way through the A bomb site, looking for a turn towards the mortar hole, but it's perfect. Lihang in that lurk position gets the backstab instead, finally getting something for his patience, and it's Ace all alone. And well, an Ace wasn't an option anymore, but a 4K could have been. Unfortunately, he does not get anything at all. Ganged up on in that spawn. It's 13-7.
All right. I can guarantee that 2-2 is in fact playing Counter-Strike and not RuneScape. Because this man is just running in with the Deagle, finding kills left, right, and center. Zingy actually ends up flashing himself with a cute flashbang through the ladder hole in Under Palace. He turns around a bit too early. He flashes himself. He's completely blind. 2-2 walks out, takes him down while he's low, and then proceeds forward. Forgets about the fact that he's got an AK on his back. Instead, goes in for the Deagle. Damn. Uncle goes in with the double 1Ds, and Sanj will find. There's 3 shots into Lihang's side, while 2-2 and Carl are brought down low. This is turning to be a disaster. One that is still managed, but a 2-on-2 in a situation like this, unideal.
Oh, not really the position they were hoping to be in, but now that the bomb goes down especially, it does become a little bit harder for these Deagles and the Scout to actually make it work. Damage initially done. It's the headshot then from Shinderes on the Deagle, leaving Tiger alone. This op is not ideal. As long as they move together in trade, this is winnable. But as I say that, unfortunately, the first shot doesn't land. But Shinderes hits a headshot as Tiger's jumping up as well. That was not an easy shot to hit right there. Plenty of time for the defuse also to come true as an 8th round is put on the board for FyR. An AK recovered. He was looking for the op. Where the hell is it? Fortunately, not quite reachable with that E key. 5 rounds in the difference. It's a start, but there's still a bit of a ways to go here for FyR. If they make a single mistake, if there's any back and forth like there was in that first half, if their economy gets broken even once, it's pretty much over.
I need to remind you that Shandaris was 8-17 before this, not having the best of games, and just comes out with this straight 2 1Ds in a retake to clutch it out.
Bad at all.
Quite nice to see.
But some
Sanj as well obviously has to be given some love out for the kills that he was able to get from short and actually recover 3 frags with that. Oh, Molotov to the chest.
Yeah, it's one thing worth noting. The frag disparity between the top and bottom fragger right now for FyR is only 5 kills, of course. ASCII on 15. So everyone is having their impact. They just need it all to come together now on the CT side and be damn near flawless. Which is not going to be easy, of course. Ace waiting on a mistake to be made over in the apartments. Carl, at the moment anyway, not going to be making it. He's waiting as they get again in towards this ladder control. And most likely this time I think they are going to use it in towards that B split. You're seeing the bomb head over towards the apartments.
Two left on the lurk has so much responsibility on his shoulders, and no one's actually watching out for him. There is a massive timing window, but he doesn't actually exercise trigger discipline. Instead, trying to face into the bomb site. 2-2. This is not how Counter-Strike is supposed to be played, but I'm loving the fact that it is. Just madness. Mayhem. Dismay on A. Ace and Sans looking to recover some sort of hope, but hope is very much out and in the bin. Tiger even finds Ace turning away. A deep flashbang forces Sans to reconsider getting aggressive, and as Eve does finally do so, at least he's good for the one. Flashbang overhead's going to find absolutely no one. Tiger is just going to be keeping his scope out for the bomb itself, but there's also just the duck down as he gets crouched, peeked into. Sans has got nothing that he can do there.
Oh, and that's probably going to lead to the end of the road for FyR now. I mean, Shandaras has enough to buy, but everyone else is short on money. I was thinking they might have went for the 1 eco. Still good, they have 3400 loss bonus, so if Shandaras keeps the 900 he has now, they can still get some pistols around this op and actually get a full buy. So yeah, that's the route they're going to go. It'll give them a chance in this round and then an opportunity to try and fight for overtime, which is not going to be easy, as well Shandaras actually gives them maybe a bit of hope here in this round indeed. An initial kill on towards Lihang. Bit of under aggression as well that right now isn't being watched for.
Tiger does have utility in his hand, and as he's not going to be checking this, they haven't gone aggressive so far, but as I say that, Tiger turns away, bomb has been dropped, and it's Ace to try and recover the up. That could be a mistake, as he has been swatted up, but allowed to fade away. Flashbang, down under, will be unscoping and re-peeking right back into it. Almost catches out Spine with a knife in his hand, but now they're relying on Tutu to come in from behind. Tutu has recovered so many rounds for them, and patience from Spine is the key, but Ace realizes the jig is up. Tutu is down.
Damn, the read on that flank right there. Troubling on the bomb site as well, as Spine is now all alone. 2 of them on the bomb site, 1 on the flank. What can he do? Apparently nothing. As Shandaras shuts him down for his 3rd kill of the round. That up was a more than worthwhile investment as it carries them towards a lifeline. An opportunity now to potentially still have victory in this game. Looks like a bit of a force buy maybe coming in from NewHappy. Yeah, that's exactly what they're going to go for. If the force buy doesn't work out, they're probably giving up an 11th round, and at that point there's 2 or 3 gun rounds between an even game. So everything's looking a bit more achievable for FyR. But it's not the worst buy here.
Is a simple one. Go B.
Such innovation. That nay, it's going to do some damage. No, not quite actually. Still does slow them down a bit though, and as you can see, it doesn't matter. The 2 B defenders are more than ready, and as I say that, they both die, so maybe I jinxed it just a small bit. Tiger on the deagle, okay, doing serious damage, brings it into a 2-on-1. Shandaras is alone. What has happened? What just happened, T-Time?
Shandaras needs to...
Heartbreaking.
Needed to find that kill immediately, Shandaras. God, he's missing the time when he had a deagle and got the double kill on the retake, but man, 15-9, NewHappy recover what looked like a lost round once the grenades and whatnot started rolling in, but the deagle shots are just a little bit too strong. FyR, as a reminder to everyone, this was the map which we projected they need to win, and as I say, they haven't been quite on track to do so.
No, they really haven't. Their name's FyR, it's Inferno up next, it's a match made in heaven. We'll see. The initial kill again goes to NewHappy. Shandaras mollied out. It's worst case scenarios all over the map right now. He was fortunate to even get away with a kill right there, to be honest.
Well, worst case scenarios all around the map, all around the server, and FyR have lost their map pick, which is undoubtedly the worst case scenario
toxic
for them in this situation.
Team killing.